there continues to be more and more evidence that suggests that Sam Witwer is going to be under the helmet as Marrok in the Ahsoka show. Now, if you don't know who Sam Witwer is, he was the voice of Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, in Rebels, as well as the voice, I believe, when Darth Maul popped up at the end of the Solo movie. But it's not just the fact that, oh, we might get Sam Witwer underneath the helmet, it's the character that Sam may be playing in the Ahsoka series. And that character is none other than Starkiller, Galen Marek from the Force Unleashed video games. I mean, right off the bat, just the names obviously match up. Marek, I know they're pronounced differently, I'm not good at pronunciation, sue me, but obviously there's a correlation there. And just some of the evidence so far is very small, but it's definitely worth speculating on, that's for sure. Now that episode 3 of the Ahsoka show has come and gone, 2 weeks in a row, 2 episodes in a row, Sam Witwer has been credited, I believe, as audio, whatever it's technically under, in the credits. Sam Witwer's name is in the credits. Why? Now, of course, in episode 2 and episode 3, we saw Marek obviously participating in the show, but we also heard him make some grunts, barely say a sentence, whatever he said in episode 3. I didn't really make it out. I gotta watch it back. And I said this in my review, you know, it very well may be a chance that it's really nobody under the helmet and they just got Sam to voice this guy just because Sam Witwer's kind of just like a legacy guy over at Lucasfilm. He's just kind of like, you know, hey, he's a good hand, like he's always willing to help out, if you know what I mean. And you know, we've all been speculating, a lot of theories being thrown out there on who is under that helmet. And you know, it is fair to say that maybe nobody is under that helmet, but that does seem like a very Disney thing to do, you know, lead us all on, get us all speculating, put this mystery character, if you will, kind of in the spotlight, and then it end up being nobody. He just dies by the end of the season. So far, so good with this show, and it is in Dave we trust around here, and I don't believe Dave Filoni would lead us on and give us something to speculate on week after week, and continuing to do so throughout the season if there wasn't some mystery revolving that character who has been a front and center piece so far in this show. Clearly, this character is important, and clearly he is skilled. He stood toe-to-toe with Ahsoka, held his own, and survived. Ahsoka, one of the most skilled Jedi Force wielders, whatever you want to say, in the galaxy, trained by Anakin Skywalker. So I do believe that somebody is under that helmet, and maybe it isn't Sam Witwer, Starkiller, whatever. Some people have thrown out some wild theories that it's Ezra Bridger underneath that helmet, that it's Kanan Jarrus, who never died. He just got captured and brainwashed, which I think is so wild that people are saying that, but that's been a rumor that I've seen that people are speculating on. Some people think it's the clone Luke from the original Heir to the Empire books. I believe it was in those books. I don't know, a lot of theories out there, but this one actually has some evidence behind it. And like, here's the thing with bringing Starkiller in to this new Disney canon. If you guys ever played the Force Unleashed video games, or at least just watched the cutscenes or did your homework on the character, this dude was pretty OP. Like, he's literally like next in line underneath the Palpatine when it comes to power in the galaxy. The dude was trained by Darth Vader. The dude beat Darth Vader in the video games, and at one point, I think it's the end of the second game, you get the choice to either go to the light side or go to the dark side and become Palpatine's new apprentice. I mean, this dude literally stops a Star Destroyer like mid-air in one of these games. And George Lucas literally said himself at some point that Starkiller is basically Luke Skywalker if Luke was trained from a youngling by Darth Vader. That's how powerful Starkiller is. So of course, if this character were to come into the Ahsoka show and come into this new canon of Star Wars, they would need to make some adjustments. They would need to dumb him down a little bit, give him a different backstory, possibly not being Vader's apprentice, or maybe that still is there, but maybe something happened along the way. Obviously, there would need to be some tinkering with the story and the character, because if not, he just came in as is, like literally nobody stands a chance. This dude would have murked Ahsoka in like a minute in that battle in episode 2. So like, obviously they need to make some changes, which is not out of the realm of possibility. We have seen Dave Filoni do this in the past, grabbing something from Legends or something that isn't really recognized fully as canon, if you will, and bring them into the new Star Wars canon. Grand Admiral Thrawn is a perfect example. Kanan and his backstory a little bit with the whole Caleb Doom thing in the beginning of Bad Batch season 2 or season 1, a little bit of adjustment there. So like, it's not out of the realm of possibility for Dave to see potential in something that isn't really Star Wars canon and adjust it a little bit that way it fits, and we can kind of get a win-win situation. Dave Filoni does with purpose, man. I don't think he would teeter this character in front of our face and not deliver. Somebody's under that helmet. So maybe it is an adjusted Starkiller character as an Inquisitor. This is something that Sam Witwer talked about himself. There's a clip that everybody has seen by now over the last few weeks of him talking, maybe on a live stream or an interview, a podcast, whatever it was, and discussing the fact that at some point Dave Filoni was toying with the idea of making Starkiller an Inquisitor, and a lot of the basis for that was the fact that what the Inquisitors do is basically kind of what Starkiller was doing in the video games. So it's kind of like a clear-cut way to introduce Starkiller into this Star Wars canon by basically taking the Inquisitors and putting Starkiller in that role, because again, that's basically what he did anyway. And obviously it's interesting because we're in an era post-Empire, so there are no Inquisitors. So how is this possibly an Inquisitor, Starkiller, whatever? A lot of question marks there. But obviously he's rocking a helmet with a mystery behind it. Obviously he's wielding the weapon of an Inquisitor, so like there's clearly something there, and it's not wrong to be speculating on. And the backstory of this character, whether it's Sam Witwer or not, obviously has to be something substantial, because if he's able to hold his own against Ahsoka, escape, use the Force, have the weapon of an Inquisitor, clearly there's something there, and just all roads are leading to it being Starkiller. And like, obviously if they tinker with the story, this may not be the case depending on the route they go, but can you imagine us getting Ahsoka versus Starkiller, Darth Vader's apprentice versus Anakin's apprentice? That would be an amazing battle, and obviously we technically got it if that ends up being the case in episode 2, but it was quick. The knowledge for us fans wasn't there yet, so if that were to happen the next time around, after we get a reveal possibly of who is under that helmet, then it's going to feel like much bigger of a deal. Either way, they're obviously going to be doing it again. I believe we saw that in the trailers. Possibly that's going to be next week's episode in the Redwoods, possibly getting Ahsoka versus Marrok. But that is a possibility of that, you know, vibe going on. Vader's apprentice versus Anakin's Padawan. That's a big deal. And listen, I think for us Star Wars fans, we always appreciate somebody who loves the Star Wars franchise working for the Star Wars franchise, especially because nowadays it feels like Lucasfilm will hire anybody to come work on Star Wars, whether that's in a directing role, a writing role, an acting role. I would like some people who actually care about the Star Wars brand, and Sam Witwer loves Star Wars. I think literally he was a fan before it, and being a fan helped him get the role for The Force Unleashed, and then eventually led to the Clone Wars, Rebels, all that stuff. So I'm all for Sam Witwer getting more work, if you will, in Star Wars. I gotta stop saying "if you will" like 20 times per video, but you guys get the point. The evidence lines up not just with the credits and what we've seen of Marrok, I don't know how you say this dude's name. I think everyone said it like 6 different ways. I'm just gonna say Marrok. Obviously the evidence is there with what we have seen, but then add in all these other things, and like I said, I think the biggest thing that is worth speculating on is the fact that Dave Filoni, as said by Sam Witwer, has speculated with this idea, and it's not out of the realm of possibility because we've seen Dave do stuff like this in the past, Grand Admiral Thrawn being the perfect example. So I want to throw out the question to you guys. What do you guys think? Who do you think is underneath the helmet? Do you think it is Starkiller? Do you think it is somebody else? Is it one of these absolute crazy theories like Ezra, Kanan, clone Luke, which I like would be insane? Like what, or is it nobody? That is a possibility as well. There's a possibility we get to next week, we get Marrok versus Ahsoka in the Redwoods, and Ahsoka dices this dude up, and that's the end of the speculation. Who knows? Remains to be seen. Maybe Sam Witwer was just coming in just to do a couple grunts as the voice and get a payday in a good way. Who knows? Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think it's gonna be. And go check out my Ahsoka episode 3 reactions plus my review video, 2 separate videos. I'll link them both up in the cards. Go check them out. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you guys for watching this video. Go follow me across all social medias at Nation Vlogs. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
This is Rogue 2. This is Rogue 2. Commander Skywalker, do you copy? This is Rogue 2.